Bigfoot, the Yeti, the Wendigo. Throughout the years, we've heard rumor of these creatures of the forest and snows. But what happens when we go underground? Tonight on Know Your Monster, we meet a man who was just minding his own business looking for edible mushrooms while in a deep cavern. And later, we tell you what we know about this creature called the Quaggoth. Thanks for seeing me, Mr. Tubb. Can you recant some of your experience with this creature you supposedly saw?
I did see it. Now some may call me a fibber. Sure, I've taken my tongue around many a tale in my day, but I assure you this isn't one of those times. It was about as tall as any respectable man, maybe more, but it was beastly in nature. I didn't have my corrective lenses on, so it all just kind of looked blurry to me. But here's what I could depict of it.
Oh, that's just great.
I also got a foot cast.
Okay, that's enough. Let's pack it up.
Wait, where are you going?
Expert climbers of chasms and superior MMA clawing tactics, the Quaggoth mince no words as they descend on folks in their territories. Can we blame them, though? They're certainly not very bright, but they used to be something else entirely, before the elves came about. The Quaggoth's tribes were numerous on the surface, long, long ago. They were kings of the night hunt. They had a unique and flavorful language. And then the elves came in force. The elves drove them to near extinction, and like any creature with a desire to live, it fled to anywhere the elves weren't, the Underdark. Eventually, natural selection took place, and the noble beasts lost some of their refinement, as they were bombarded by not only the darkness of their new environment, but the innate magic that resides that far down. Eventually, food ran scarce, even after developing a taste for those poisonous mushrooms, and then the first Quaggoth, as we know them today, came to fruition. This first creature committed a mortal sin, cannibalism. With it, they grew fierce and mad, leaving all of their culture behind. As many say, the only thing worse than a surface elf is an underground elf, a drow. It wasn't enough that the elves drove them to near extinction and madness. The drow saw an opportunity with the Quaggoth's fierceness. They began selectively breeding them, turning Quaggoths into trained Quaggoths, which made them even deadlier. The Quaggoths are now a tool of the drow. Using their hatred for the surface elves, the drow let them loose on villages filled with elves, only fueling their hate. There must be some culture left in that mind of theirs, as some develop psionic energies, and then the other Quaggoths usually make them tribal chief. However, that's the extent of their culture nowadays, as one slip up from the tribal chief, and they'll be beaten and then eaten by the rest of the tribe. Now, the Quaggoth aren't all that difficult for a party that's mid to high level. With a CR of 2 and clocking in at 45 hit points, one won't present too much of a problem, but a tribe might, especially with their damage output. Another instance of a multi-attack opponent, but with a +5 to hit and 1d6 +3 damage per hit. And they also go into a frenzy when they are on the brink of death. It's just nasty. Now, I've never ran this monster before, but given its rich background and unique environment, what's to stop you from having the party encounter one by starting out in the Underdark? Maybe the party is in contract for this mining company, or they're just exploring some old cave, and then the integrity of the cave system fails. No DC checks or anything like that, because luckily a water slide like cavern opens up beneath them and they plunge into the Underdark. Whatever they discover there, I leave to you. Could be a lost Underdark city in ruin, an active one, or just into some mushrooms that want to kill them. Perhaps there is one tribe left. One tribe that retains its passion and its culture, but are hunted by primal Quaggoths. Do you help them? Do they still resent the elves, especially if there's elf blood in any of the party members? What would you do as a DM with these posed questions? I would actually like to hear your thoughts on that. So that wraps up the Quaggoth. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you like this video. And let me know how I'm doing. Thanks for watching, everyone.